Good morning. It's a cold day today, so I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. Look, I even matched my lipstick to the shirt today. Actually, I have this orange lipstick and, I want to use it up. So I thought, oh, this is a, perfect day to wear it. So, yes, I am going to do what I said I would, which is I'm going to work with the Honduras coffee. But I'm going to, yesterday I made it with a chunk of Hershey's milk chocolate. It was good. So I don't have any more chocolate, but I do have this Hershey's cocoa. This is the special dark cocoa. And I've got some simple syrup from Jordan's. This is skinny syrup. Okay, but you know what? I wasn't planning on wearing a white shirt. Let me put on an apron here because just as sure as can be, I will end up with chocolate all over this shirt. I always wondered, why don't they make aprons that cover you up here? Because food splashes up. I mean, you're covered really nicely from the waist down in most aprons. I remember when I was a little girl, there were these aprons. Let me just tie this in back here. There were these aprons that you would put on and they sort of crisscrossed, like you put one arm in and it came here, you put the other arm in and it crisscrossed over your shoulders and it kind of came out a little bit and it, covered everything really well. So anyway, of course, I like an apron that doesn't show stains, and this is a good one for that. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Oh, am I adding milk to this? You know what? Let me heat up some milk. I forgot about the milk because that you definitely need that. Honestly, this ends up, I think, based on yesterday's experience, tasting like a wonderful hot cocoa. Okay, that's probably good. I don't want to dilute it too much. And of course, the sweetness will come from the skinny syrup. Oh, should I have mixed the, I should have mixed the chocolate in with the syrup first. Well, I'm going to try and mix the chocolate in with the milk. Oh, golly, I'm trying to think what's the best way to do this. Well, we might find out what's the best way not to do this, right? Okay, so here's a nice big spoonful of the Hershey's cocoa, which, keep in mind, this is unsweetened. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the skinny syrup in now. Okay, and if that's not enough, I'll add more later. So basically, I'm making my own chocolate syrup here. Okay, so I can tell right now, I should have mixed the cocoa with the syrup first. But let's see here if we can, yeah, because see, it's lumping up on the spoon and everything. You know what? I can use that in something else later. Let me get another, I have another, yeah, here we go. Okay, I'm going to do this over. Okay, do over, and let me get my spoon. Alrighty, now, I'm gonna put the cocoa in first. This is all experimentation. We're doing it together. Okay, nice big spoon, and it goes. And the reason I'm doing it over is the simple syrup, it's got a little bit of thickness to it, and that kind of helps powdery things to dissolve in it better. So I say. We'll see if that's true. I don't like to dirty up more stuff than necessary. Well, yeah, see? Look, it's mixing up there. All right, this is what I'm gonna do because this is gonna help it to dissolve. Okay, let me get my pixie here. And and we'll just heat it up, all right? I'll save this to use later in something. Oh, maybe in a second cup of coffee later. Okay. So this is mixing up pretty well. It's making kind of like a chocolate syrup. Okay. And oh, you know what? Maybe should I put a half? I have one last half and half here. Okay, I'll put that in there and mix it in. Okay. All right. Honduras capsule is in. Here we go. Okay. All righty. Now, you know what I'm thinking? Oh, I put in a tremendous amount of cocoa, didn't I? Oh, dear me. This is going to need milk. I know it is. But let me take a little taste here and we'll see. I would use this other one to hold the spoon over. Okay. Woo! Now, if you if you want something that's really chocolatey, wow, and the coffee tastes great in it, but you know what? Really, it needs to be diluted a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some milk and pop it in the microwave. I'm putting in a bunch of milk, and I'll tell you why. I am going to run a second Honduras capsule into that because it's tasting really good. You know, I gotta be honest with you though. It's tasting good, of course, with all that chocolate in it, you know, and the sweet syrup, but it's also using up those Honduras capsules, which I don't like all that well. So we'll let that go ahead and finish heating up. Here, I'll show you real quick what I've been doing. You know, I used to do watercolors, and it was like during quarantine I got into doing them. Really enjoyed it. Then I just kind of got out of it. And I thought, you know, I've been watching so many birds. I've got the general idea of what a bird ought to look like. Now, I will show you, for those of you who haven't seen it, I used to fool around with watercolors with birds like this. You know, and that was so much fun. But those don't look like real birds, you know, that you can tell I like birds. No, I did not paint this. Oh, wish I had, but I couldn't. Yeah, so I like birds. So I thought, well, let me just give it a quick try, see if I can paint something that looks like a bird, a real bird. So I painted those last night real quick, and I thought, these do not look like what I intended for them to look like. Let me get that mixture here. And I was really disappointed. And I sent the picture to my daughter, and I said, you know, I'm off watercolor again. You know, I'm done. And she said, no, that's so good, Mom. And I said, well, maybe I'll look at it again in the morning because it doesn't look like what I had intended for it to look like. I looked at it this morning and I thought, you know, those do look like birds. I can see where next time, I'm going to do it again. I can improve this line and that line. And, you know, of course, mastering the medium of watercolor is involved too. And honestly, I might do better doing this in acrylic, but watercolor's too much fun. So anyway, sometimes when you look at something, you know, give it a little time, look at it later, you might feel differently about it. And it helps to have someone else's input, because right after I did that last night, I thought, you know, this is not what I planned, and I just had a negative view of it. But then after my daughter and my granddaughter saw it, you know, they liked it. And basically, even though it was in text, you know, we weren't speaking, we were texting. What my daughter said after I said it was ugly, she said, "Mom." Anyway, this morning I don't think it's quite as ugly. So I may give watercolor another shot here, at least with painting birds, because there are so many different shapes and colors and proportions and stuff in birds. And I've watched enough of them now that I think I might be able to capture it a little bit. So a little bit of a challenge there. Okay, so I've got another Honduras in here. You know, the amount of cocoa powder that I put in would have been great, like maybe for a big cup of coffee. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to taste this, but I may add more hot water to it as well. Turn it into a big cup of coffee. You know what? I'm not going to add more hot water. I do not want to dilute the chocolate. The cocoa needs a tiny bit more of the simple syrup because it's not quite sweet enough. There we go. So, maybe you don't ask this question, but I ask myself, could I have used just any old coffee and it would taste like this does? In all honesty, no. The Honduras gives this some kind of a flavor. You know, I don't know how to characterize it for you, but I mean, I've had coffee with cocoa and, you know, simple syrup and stuff like that in it. And different coffees make it taste different ways. This is pretty good. I think it would be better if I had coffee mate to put in it. But, you know, you can tweak these things so many different ways. Anyhow, let me take my apron off here. Hopefully I managed to not get any cocoa spilled up on me. By the way, let me tell you about this wonderful apron. This is from Amani Yaju. You know what? Let me turn the phone around here and show you the label. This is made by African women. There you go. You from Kenya. All right. And okay, it says this product has been sewn by African women in need. These women have learned to work together because of their faith in God, who provides a higher peace. And that's what Amani Yaju, I have no idea how to pronounce it, means. So you can see the website there. They sell other kinds of things too. Oh, I've got this maybe 10 years ago or something, and it's just great. But yeah, they make all kinds of other stuff too. So, you know, if you're interested in supporting something like that, it's got a big pocket here. Anyhow, so, and it's lined, obviously. And these are hand dyed by the women, I believe. Anyway, they're made by the women. This is all, it's like a little quilt. Each one of these is sewn separately. Anyhow, so look. Have a good day today, okay? And if you're doing something and it's not turning out quite the way you want it, give it a little time and see if you might feel differently about it a little bit later or get some input from other people.